Hey, sup, John? Had a crazy weekend. I went to a video game convention in Pasadena, Texas, just south of Houston, called Retropalooza Houston. It's July 2021 right now. Um, so they had a video game convention. I actually tried to go last year and it got canceled, and then because of COVID, and then they had it this year. So took off work and actually went and sold video games at the convention. See all these empty shelves back here, some of them. I'll show you. I got some new stuff to put on the shelves though, so I'm excited. Um, but anyways, I sold a bunch of stuff. I've actually sold everything that I brought with me, and then I traded and sold and got some awesome stuff. This is like my third or fourth time trying to do this video. The audio's messed up, so I'm trying to use my mic so that the sound's better. But if you stick around to the end, I am going to give away a download code for the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the NES Library. It's like a 500-page book by Pat the NES Punk. So here's the book here. I got the download code. So at the end of the video, I'm going to just put the code up. So whoever the first person that watches to the end that wants it, you claim the code. So that's how that's going to go. So stick around to the end. All right. So I'm going to do this by system. I'm going to try and go quicker than I did last time. So these are going to be Game Boy games. So speaking of Game Boy, all right, it's Club Fanny Pack time. So you got to get yourself one of these, the vintage Nintendo Game Boy Fanny Pack. Mark White is from Houston. He had an awesome double huge booth end cap table with his friend, which I forget his friend's name. So sorry, met a lot of people, but Mark White, awesome dude, and he had a bunch of these fanny packs, and all the vendors were using them to put their money in. So it's kind of cool. So me, Kingsley, Dan Kelly, who's from Dan Kelly from Chicago. He had a booth. We were all rocking the fanny pack. So it's all about Club Fanny Pack at Retropalooza Houston, apparently. So I did a trade with him. I brought Turbo Graphics. Nobody bought it, but uh, yeah. So Mark knows what's up, and he wanted to get. I had a really nice copy of Parasol Stars by Working Designs, which is actually Bubble Bobble 3 on the TurboGrafx. So I had that really nice copy, and so we worked a trade for Tetris. Um, Tetris Complete. Well, I put the game. He didn't have the game in there, but I had a really nice copy of Tetris and a clamshell to put in there. So it's all good. It's all about the box, though. Um, People kind of overlook this as something for their collection, but really hard to find a non player's choice version because everybody got this game free with their console. So this is um, a rare game to not there's millions of copies obviously, but rare to find a really nice box that's not the player's choice and doesn't have the ESRB rating K for kids or whatever original launch Tetris copy. So pick this up from Mark. All right, then I don't know where I got this, but I got Alleyway for the Game Boy, another launch title. I got this game Christmas 1989 with my original Game Boy. So really glad to have this for the collection. This is funny. So I had a Game Boy cleaning kit, one of these, and they just look cool. They have the right artwork and they look just like a game. So I sold my Game Boy cleaning kit, and then like the next hour later, a guy came in and traded me a Game Boy cleaning kit and this like really nice copy of a Super Mario RPG for a Game Boy Pocket. And so I was like, yeah, I'll do that for sure. So I got a label upgrade on Super Mario RPG on Super Nintendo, and I got a sealed. I got the H seam and everything sealed Game Boy cleaning kit. So have that for the collection. This was another trade. You're gonna laugh, but or I don't know. I had a copy of Ruler Rose that somebody traded me, the rarest game on PlayStation 2, in my opinion. Um, and so I have a buddy Mike from Tampa. He's a crazy collector. He's got insane collection, and he really wanted that Ruler Rose. He's trying to get 20 copies of it, and I gotta support something as insane as that. So I worked a trade. I sold him Ruler Rose, and then something he had on his table that he threw in for me is a Solar Striker, original Game Boy game from. I'm pretty sure it came out at launch, if not the year after. But I remember as soon as I had my Game Boy, this was like one of the first 4 or 5 games that I had. Really awesome shooter. Nintendo doesn't make a lot of shooter games, and R&D 1 or R&D 2 or whatever, and really fun game. Like, it's simple, really good soundtrack. It escalates nicely, and I love shooters, and I've always loved Solar Strikers, so really excited to add that to the collection. Then I worked another trade with Manuel, and I don't know his friend's name, the guy that works with them. They have a shop called LC Vintage Games, and they're at the Antique Mall by my house. I go there every weekend to see those guys, and they really wanted to get Earthbound. I had a loose cartridge copy of Earthbound that they really wanted, so we worked a trade for Pokemon Blue. This has gone up in value. It's crazy. I would never buy this, like never buy this with my own money, for what it's worth. But yeah, for a trade, Earthbound for Pokemon, yeah, I'll do that. So really excited to have this in the collection because I wouldn't buy it if I saw it in a store or on eBay. There's no way. But trade, yeah, all day. So I'm really glad I got to bring this home from the convention. So then next I'll do Super Nintendo really quick. I got a Super Mario World case for my buddy AC. I actually got this at his shop. This wasn't from Retropalooza, but it was on Friday because I gave him a ride home. And so I got that. And then I got 2 Disney games, complete in box, really nice copies. I got The Lion King, and I got Aladdin. So that was it for Super Nintendo. Of course, I told you all about the Super Mario RPG. Then for Nintendo, I got some boxes. I traded RoboCop versus Terminator to Dan Kelly from Chicago, and he wanted it. Had it complete in box, and I was like, yeah, and he had some stuff that I wanted, some boxes that I needed that I had the games for. One of which was Clash of Demon Head. So I had a loose copy. I was able to complete it with the manual in the box and put it all together. I ended up selling that and got way more money for it that way. I don't remember that game. I just literally found out about it because it was in the Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but I don't remember it from when I was a kid, so I'm not really attached to it. But one game that I am attached to that I really like is Rampage. Not the rarest game, but I had a nice copy, and he had the box and manual, so I was able to complete my Rampage for the collection. Another game that I bought from D-Pad, which is D-Pad's a store in New Braunfels, Texas. It's in between San Antonio and Austin, and they had some really cool stuff, including something I passed up on, but I just didn't want to spend the money on it. They had a copy of Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo, complete in box, but I just couldn't do it. But I did pick this up. It wasn't very expensive, but I love this game. I love the soundtrack. I love the artwork of Konami games, like the vertical lines and the silver boxes. So I got that. This is another trade, like at the end of the convention. There was a lot of trading going on at the end, like after it was over. But I had a Xbox for sale. It didn't sell. Nobody wanted an original Xbox. But one of the other vendors had a box for it, and he's like, man, I really want to get it so I can complete my box. And so I was like, yeah, I don't want to take it home, so please take it. And I grabbed this Top Gun Second Mission, another Konami game, not super rare, but like the artwork is killer. Top Gun is an awesome movie. And I remember renting this as a kid, so I have some nostalgia for this game. And it looks really cool. Another piece of the collection. Another trade I did, and I forget this guy's name. There are 2 dudes from San Antonio, and I forgot their names. And I met so many people, I didn't remember their names. But I did. He was really into Game Boy and Batman, so he got. We did a trade for Batman, the animated series, on Game Boy. And Batman Return of the Joker, the Sunsoft game, on Game Boy. So it was those 2 Batman Game Boy games, and I got a really nice Legend of Zelda box with a nice window that wasn't torn. I actually saw one earlier that I was thinking about buying at the con, and it had the window was ripped, and I almost thought about buying that. But we did it. We worked a trade out for this, and I just last weekend got the map. And I got, I always had a really nice manual, and I I had upgraded over time, and I had a really nice um, gold cartridge, so I was able to get a complete Legend of Zelda, put that together with some traits. Speaking of Zelda, um, one of the guys that I met, I think he's from Clear Lake or League City, somewhere down by Pasadena. But Daniel Rivera, he was kept coming by the booth. He was there all weekend. He was there Friday when we were setting up, and he was trying to get a game from OK Chief. He was trying to get Master System, Ghouls and Ghosts. I think it was. I didn't even see what he was trying to get. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to trade him, but he won't trade." I was like, "What are you trading?" And he busts this bad boy out. I was like, "Well, how much is the game?" "I'll give you the money." Like, check this thing out. 1988 Hasbro Nintendo High Score Trophy. Are you kidding me? For Legend of Zelda with the rupees. I mean, this is a 3D version, a little statue, like vintage 1988 Hasbro. This is so cool. And then I found out there's a whole bunch of these. They have Mike Tyson's Punch Out and Mario, and so now I got to try and find the rest of them, but that's okay. They're gonna come to me. They're gonna come to me. I'm not gonna go on eBay and buy them. I'm gonna get them by trading, and I'm gonna find them out in the wild, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, this is so cool. I mean, I would much rather have this than whatever, some random rare Nintendo games that I never played. This is just vintage and cool from my era, so I really like that. Another Zelda thing I picked up, and I tried to get a trade, but the guy didn't see anything he liked on my table, so I was happy to buy it. Um, it says the Japanese Densetsu something fantasy, the Hyrule Fantasy. Uh, it's the Japanese version of Legend of Zelda. This is the first release of Legend of Zelda, and I got the manual and the disc. If you've never seen Famicom Disk System games, they come on these little floppy disks that say Nintendo. They're super cool. They look awesome. And actually, this version of the game is different than the US version. It has more. The Famicom Disk System had an extra sound chip, I believe, so there's a different soundtrack. The songs have like bass lines that are like a different bass line, and so I added this to the collection, and this is something that I always wanted, and as soon as I saw it, I had to get it. This is the Zelda rookie card. This is the first appearance of Link, first appearance of Zelda. Oh, look, it's even got the stickers. I didn't even realize that. It's got the stickers for the cartridge right here in the manual, but the cartridge that I had already had the stickers on it. That's cool. Man, this is so cool. So, yeah, I didn't know it had the sticker sheet, and then the instructions are like amazing, colorful, lots of illustrations, and it's got a map. I mean, this is just this is so cool. Obviously, you can't read it, but hey, man, Zelda rookie card. If you ever see this, pick it up. I mean, come on, it's so cool, especially in this condition, complete like that. Um, so I got that. Another thing, awesome thing I got on a trade was I got a bunch of stuff on a trade that I ended up trading on, like Switch games and limited run stuff. But one of the things I did get to go to the collection is the Chrono Trigger Nintendo Power Guidebook Player's Guide. This is awesome. I don't have this. The artwork's amazing. I love Nintendo Power, and I love guidebooks, especially vintage guidebooks. And this, now that I have this, I need two more books for a complete Nintendo Power run from like 1 to 100 or 1 to 75. I stopped collecting after it went to talking about the N64, but as far as NES and Super Nintendo and Game Boy, I do collect Nintendo Powers, so I need the Earthbound guidebook, which is the most expensive Nintendo Power thing there is probably. But I really want to get a big box Earthbound, which comes with it. So that's one of the items that I really want to get. And then once I get that, I have this. I need a random like copy of Nintendo Fun Club News, the Mike Tyson. It's not random. It's a cool copy, but I know I can buy it. I see them on eBay all the time for $60, but I'm hoping to find it in the wild one day. I don't want to just buy it on eBay. I don't like doing that. So I got the Chrono Trigger guidebook, and then after I got that, our buddy Dan, he runs a store in Las Vegas called Retro City Games, and a really cool store. Every time I go to Vegas, I go to his store, and he had a bunch of Super Famicom games, like really good stuff, like huge lot of Super Famicom games, and it had good stuff like Super Street Fighter or I don't know, any game you could want. They were all in there. He had all the Donkey Kong games, Mario Kart, Super Mario World, Super Mario RPG, like awesome games. I wish I had time to look through it. I wanted to find Space Megaforce, but I just didn't have time to really look. But once I got that Chrono Trigger, I was like, oh, let me go see if he's got this. So I got a Japanese Chrono Trigger. I probably can't play it because it's so text-based, but just really cool to have. And you can pick these copies up for a lot cheaper. In fact, I traded him a Dreamcast controller for this, so that was a trade I did. So now that's that. Then we go into the consoles. I had sold my SP. I think I sold two SPs, so I didn't have an SP anymore. And I was like, man, I want another SP. And the guy that was with Mark White from the Fanny Pack Gang, his friend had one for sale, and it didn't sell in the whole convention. SP 101 with the super brighter screen. So I picked this up from him. I think I bought it off him. But it's pretty nice. But I think I'm gonna swap this shell. I'm gonna make it a SpongeBob SquarePants SP because I have the Pikachu one, so I want to get that SpongeBob 101. And then okay, and then I also got the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the NES Library by Pat the NES Punk, and this book is crazy. It's super heavy, and he signed it for me and everything. So I was really happy to get this from Pat because I know like shipping this book would probably cost like a fortune. So just to pick it up in person from Pat, and it's got the whole NES library. So a lot of the games that I sold out of my collection, I can still look at them and enjoy them and read about them and think about them. But let's be real, like a lot of those games, they were just on the shelf to be on the shelf, and I don't have memories of them. I never even saw them when I was a kid. I didn't even know there was a Contra Force till a couple of years ago. So, anyways, now I got the book and I can remember that. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give away the code so you can download the book. And another thing Pat had, I watch his podcast with Ian, and Pat and Ian, the CU podcast, Completely Unnecessary podcast. And he has a huge roll of Tenjin RBI baseball labels. They go on the black label the black carts. And so he's got a roll of stickers, like legit RBI baseball stickers. So I picked up a sticker from him. Just really random, but I always look at it in his videos, and I've always wanted one of the stickers. So he sold me one of those. So a console that I got a GameCube with the Game Boy player, which is awesome. And I got this from 16-Bit Pete. He's a YouTuber, and he actually modded this on his channel. There's a video about it where he mods this. He put there's like a mod so that it can play burn discs, and then also a card reader, but it also still has the disk drive, so you can still play regular games. You can play import, burned games, whatever you want. You can play on here, and then it has the SD card with not all the games, but all the good games on the GameCube are already on here. And then it also has the Game Boy player, so I can play my Game Boy games on the TV. And he gave it to me with the HDMI cable, so it has a GameCube to HDMI cable. So I was really happy to get this from Pete, 16-Bit Pete. He was like one of the guests at the show, and it was really nice to meet him. And check out his channel. He's got some really cool videos and stuff like that. So happy to get that from Pete. And another console that I got in trade, somebody had traded me a GameCube Pure Evil box set, which contains two Resident Evil games on the GameCube. This is a super rare box set. A lot of people were interested in it, but nobody really bought it at the convention. I mean, people wanted it, but they were like, oh, I didn't bring that kind of money, little higher priced item. So at the end of the convention, I was checking out Freaks and Geeks, which is they have a store in Denton, Texas, which is where I went to college. But the store wasn't there when I was in Denton. I wish it was. But they had this, and I was kind of eyeballing it, and I love Animal Crossing. In fact, I never had a GameCube, when the GameCube was out, but I did have a GameCube memory card because my roommate had a GameCube, and and when Animal Crossing came out, I went and bought a memory card so I could have my own town. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is so ever since this came out, I've been kind of eyeballing it. I don't have a Switch, and I really wanted to get one. Um, I saw that, and I was like, hey, what is about this? I was thinking about buying it, even really, just buying it, and then I was like, do you want to? I was like, do you want to trade? And he's like, let me go check it out. And then I was like, hey, look, I got all these limited run Switch games. I got this Shantae plush in trade. I got Metroid Trilogy steel case that like I don't even have a Wii. Um, I had like a Wind Waker on the GameCube. I had all this stuff that I got traded in that I don't even have systems for. So I was like, hey, what about this? So we worked a trade, and I traded him the Resident Evil Twin Pack and Switch games and stuff that I had. And I got this awesome Animal Crossing Switch. And I also got some games because I was like, well, I got to have something to play. So I got ARMS, which is so cool. I've always wanted to play this since I saw the Switch came out. I think this came out with the Switch, but yeah, I got that, and I got Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, and then I got this one. It's the Psycho. How do you say it? I don't know how you say it. I say it Psycho Collection Volume 2, but this has Gunbird 2, which is a shooter that I really like. One of my favorite arcades, and I really love bullet hell games and vertical shooters, and so yeah, and this also has Dragon Blaze and Strikers 1945. So I love shooter games, so I'm sure I'm gonna love those. So I just had to get some Switch games, and yeah, and then oh, another thing that I just wanted to show. I got this from LC Vintage Games the weekend before, but it's the Super Nintendo Power Super Power Club Pog collector set, and I actually have all the Pogs with my Nintendo Powers, but they're not like punched out yet, and but I didn't have the binder, so I wanted to get the binder. There's also a trading card binder that I'm hoping to find. It matches this, but it just has a whole slots for trading cards instead of Pogs, so I got that for my Nintendo Power collection. And then I was trying to work trades all weekend and stuff, and one of the things that I wanted to get from the con was the Famicom faceplate Game Boy Micro. I have a Game Boy Micro, but I really wanted that one, and Kingsley was talking about doing a trade for one, and so I brought my boxed. I had the black Game Boy Micro complete in box. So we were going to do a trade for that, but then this opportunity came to me from my buddy AC, who has a store in Houston called Rare and Classic. It's my local game store, and Rare and Classic got this in, and so I was like, okay, well, let me just sell my micro so I can get this. So I got the Famicom Game Boy Micro, and it's got the Player One on there, but then he also had this, which is the Player 2. So I went from having one micro to now I have two. So this is the whole thing. It's like I sold a bunch of stuff, but I really upgraded my collection. And another piece that I got off of at Rare and Classic was this. It's the SNES Junior console. And this is just awesome, complete in box console. I had sold my SNES Junior at Retropalooza, and I was kind of bummed. I was like, man, I really like that. It looks just so cool. So I had sold mine, and then he had this, and kind of had my eye on it. So with some of the money that I made from Retropalooza, I got this from him. So it's like I sold a bunch of stuff, but I got a lot of really nice stuff, and just trying to focus my collection instead of going for everything. Going for completing sets and things like that. I'm not really trying to do that. I'm just trying to stick to the stuff that I grew up with, that I have nostalgia for, and just have fun with games. So Yeah, so if you did stick around for the video, oh, another thing I got, I don't know if you see it over there on the couch. I got the Mega Man 2 pillow from Tyler. He has a YouTube channel called My Retro Life. He actually lives not too far from me down the street, and he had that for sale. I tried to trade, but he didn't see anything he wanted. I was like, I'll just buy it because I have a gray couch. I'm kind of going for a gray theme in my game room, and yeah, so I got that Mega Man 2 pillow. So really awesome. So anyways, if you did stick around, I said I'm going to give away a download for the Ultimate Guide to the NES Library, 1985 to 1995 by Pat Country. Um, I'll just put this up here, and if you're the first person that wants it, if you got a way to read it, you got an ebook, go ahead and pause it and get the code, and then you can download the book because I don't have an iPad, so I don't have any way to read this anyway. So, but I got the paper book, so I'll be reading that. So I had an awesome time. I'm really looking forward to the next one. Shout out to all the YouTube people that were there. Mr. Rightway, he bought Popeye from me, and I gave him a Cubert lunchbox for his game room. And his wife, Zap Crystal, she has an awesome arcade. Um, Jay and Billy, the Game Chasers, those guys worked really hard putting on a con. Like if the behind the scenes, it is like hard, sweaty work, like setting up tables and everything. Like there's a lot of work that goes into it, and they really put their back into it. As well as 16-bit Pete. It's awesome to meet him and get that GameCube from him. And I've been watching his videos. I really like his channel. He's a super genuine guy, like uh, really genuine and really good dude. Um, Pat the NES Punk, he kept coming by my booth, checking everything. I was like, man, what are you looking? You got all the games. You got them all. You got them all. But he just he can't help himself. But he saw I had some good stuff. He was checking out Stack Up and Contra Force and stuff like that. John Riggs, he came by the booth. If you watch his video on Retropalooza, we talked about Contra Force, Conquest at the Crystal Palace, and Hatris. So if you check out his video, it's really cool. Oh, and I was talking about 16-bit Pete. He did an interview with Kenny James, the voice of Bowser, and I didn't get a chance to go meet him. I was busy. I couldn't get over to where Kenny was. But this guy does the voice of Bowser. He's a voice actor. And 16-bit Pete did an interview with him, and he's like, oh, I keep looking at this AT-AT. I really want it, but then, my handler reminded me that I don't have room for it at home. Yeah, because it's a huge AT-AT. And I was like, man, like that was my AT-AT. Like freaking Bowser wanted my AT-AT. Like I probably would have just gave it to him if I knew. But it's all good. Like he didn't have room for it. So, but super funny. I wish he would have came by the booth and checked it out. I would have loved to have met him. But hopefully when I go to Retropalooza in Arlington, I'm probably not going to sell because I don't have much to sell. I'm probably just going to go as a fan and go to some of the different panels. I didn't get to see any of the panels or do anything like that, and I didn't get to play any games. Like they had some tournaments and stuff. I would have loved to, try to speed run, Super Mario, or I'm pretty good at Tetris, the NES. I can get up there, in the 300,000s. I don't know what the scores were, but yeah, I can get really high scores on that. So hopefully next year, or not next year, in a couple of months in October, I can get off work and go to that. But yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to Kyle Mosley from the Houston Retro Gamers. He was there Friday. He made sure I got like a really good table too, and I was right next to Dan and right across from Kingsley. And Kingsley's another guy. Houston Retro Gamers. I think he started that group, and I've been friends with him on Instagram forever. Never even met him until this weekend, but he was super nice. I traded him some stuff for some Sega games. So, but yeah, Kingsley was awesome. And then Doug from Retro City in Vegas, super awesome guy. He ended up buying my table at the end, what was left. He just bought me out. And I mean, everything I brought, I intended to sell, so it's okay, And he gave me a really fair price and pretty much bought out everything that I brought. Because I was kind of on the fence. I was like, well, I don't really have enough to to sell at the next Retropalooza. Like everything's been kind of picked over. I mean, there is still some really good stuff, but yeah, Doug ended up buying me out, so now I can just go and have fun. So, anyways, I had a blast. If you're thinking about going, go. If you're thinking about selling, sell. The trades were crazy. As you can see, I got awesome stuff. I really didn't have to spend any money. You know, I just had to pay for my booth, but I made that back on Friday. So before it even started, I sold enough to cover my booth. So, um, you know, if you're thinking about getting a booth and selling, do it. You know, the trades are epic. I mean, I literally got three of the rarest games on systems that I don't even collect. I had Shantae and the Pirate's Curse box set, which is the rarest thing on the Switch. I had Rule of Rose, which is the first or second rarest game on PS2, depending on what day of the week it is. I think it's the rarest game on PS2. Well, not rarest, but most valuable. I do see that game, but it is rare. And I had that box set Resident Evil, like crazy, crazy trades. I got Pokemon Blue, you know, complete in box and trade. So I had a blast. I don't regret it at all. Um, you know, it was a really fun time, and hopefully I can do it again. I just don't know if October if I have enough time to get more stuff to sell. But we'll see how it goes. You know, maybe if somebody's selling a collection, I might buy them out and try to sell it. But I had a blast. Thank you to everybody that came by my booth and bought stuff. I got a whole bunch of stickers, and I just got all these like Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda stickers, and they were like a huge hit. I bought like 200 stickers of each. I bought like a bunch of them, and then I just was like selling them like 3 for 5, like $1 each, or 3 for 5, or something like that, or 6 for 5. I don't even remember. But I was giving away to kids, like, hey, you know, people had their kids, like, give them something to look at, keep the kids busy while the parents shop, and I just had a really fun time. So yeah, I'm going on and on, but thank you. Hopefully somebody got the download of this book. They got the code from earlier, and yeah, I don't know when the next video is, but yeah, let me know if you were there, and comment, or you know, go check out some of the videos from Retropalooza Houston. I know I have been John Rigg, 16-bit Pete. I know Mr. Rightway is probably gonna post a video. So yeah, it was a good time. Game Chasers probably too. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.